Hello and welcome to Innovair, which is a division of ProCharger. And behind me is an aerodynamic test chamber, follow on. So if you are going to test a bypass valve or pretty much anything, this is where you'd want to do it. You can just science the snot out of something so good Bill Nye would be jealous. But that's not what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna do something way louder and way more fun because I want to. One of the first parts we need to get for this test is I'm gonna go upstairs into shipping and grab a ProFlow right out of a whole group that I heard they're making. So we're totally in luck today. Remember I said that they were building ProFlows? I was not kidding. Check it out. There's a whole bunch being made and a whole bunch more that are already done. So all we gotta do is pick a random one out of here, and this is gonna be our lucky guy for the test. The other thing we're gonna need for the test is obviously a blower. So we're here in the blower room where these guys are building up some...
ProCharger today. What are you
So here's
doing?
our P1SC-1, and now we can get this thing ready for boost.
My name's Eric. I make Facebook videos all day about all kinds of different things.
Now that I got made fun of in there, I got our blower and we can do some testing. I skipped ahead a little bit. Before we can go do some testing, I gotta install this magic hub right here. This hub normally wouldn't ever be seen on a P1SC or a D1SC. This is for like an F1X, F2, and big blowers like that. What the hub allows us to do is to bolt on a cog pulley. This is a cog belt, Gilmer drive, whatever you wanna call it. Now, to properly install one of these, heat is your friend. We're gonna heat this thing up and slide it down the shaft. These are supposed to be a pressed fit, my friends. If you use one of these, you are doing it wrong and you could break this blower. You wouldn't bang on your engine, don't bang on your supercharger. Welcome to my office, a place where I had to go. So number one, you guys can hear me, and number two, my coworkers can stop harassing me. Sergio.
Yeah.
Sergio.
No, it wouldn't be.
Okay. Blower ready to go. Here's our contraption and what we're trying to solve today, or prove, I should say. If you look inside of the bypass valve, can you see that light coming through there? What that is I've had people on the internet concerned that gap is letting a lot of boost out. And today we're going to prove that really isn't that much of an issue. So, what is this contraption? Well, this is the bypass valve that we got out of inventory that you saw earlier, and she is hooked up to a boost line. And so I got a boost gauge, just like you guys would have at home, just a normal run-of-the-mill autometer boost gauge, hooked it up to the same line. This section right here is going to get bolted to our blower, and then we're gonna turn this supercharger 51,000 RPM, which is the exact RPM that a new Camaro would be at 6,400 RPM of engine speed. So if you're making 8 pounds of boost or 7 or 8 pounds of boost on a Camaro, 51,000 RPM is it. We're gonna shove that air into this, and we're gonna watch that boost gauge go up. Now you're thinking, what's gonna happen because it's capped? Well, that's why I have a bleed line here. This little bleed air here is going to help us simulate an engine and the amount of air an engine consumes, and that's how you guys make horsepower. So let's run down to the test stand and start bolting this fun stuff up. Instead of using that boring testing chamber we talked about in the beginning of the video, I'm about to wake up every person in the office here with 1,400 screaming bald eagles. And they're gonna help me turn this supercharger any RPM I want. So I'm gonna put on some earphones, it's gonna get loud. right there you got to see us maintain about 6 PSI of boost, and I was putting my hand on and off the bypass valve, completely sealing it off, and there's no change in boost whatsoever. If you don't believe that, I actually used a calibrated grocery bag, and clearly you can see the amount of air coming out of here versus the puffs that were coming out of here. There's just not enough CFM leak here to remotely matter. So if people think that we used a ringer, come check this out. This is literally the same valve I pulled out of the random stock down in there. So you can see open and closed, she's still got that air gap. Now, why is that gap there? Because everybody asked me this. That gap is there so that when this valve operates, like literally thousands and tens of thousands of times, hundreds of thousands maybe, that butterfly can't get stuck. If it made a complete seal, it could wedge itself shut. Not saying it would happen 100%, but it could happen. So that leak line is there for a reason. So thanks for watching, following along. I know this was bizarre, totally unprofessional, but you know what? I just wanted to have some fun, and I thank all the guys that helped me, and I hope you enjoyed it. See ya.